Okay.
All right, we're good. We're going.
All right. Hey everybody. It's Tom, Christora, Haniel, and I. We just have a message that we've kind of talked over with Jordan with. So this is for people who have been in the course, and then also for the new ones who are coming on. We've been seeing a kind of trend that's been going on. So we just want to make this a good point for everybody to be able to improve their business. And we have some things that we're going to discuss here to kind of help you all along to make sure that you're making the most of your time and that everybody else is making the most of their time as well. So we're going to go over 3 questions here, and we'll actually start with Tom. So Tom, what has been the key to your success in this course?
Key to success for me has been just adapting to, taking the course and adapting it to what works for me the best. I've said this before, I say it again. This course works for you if you can make it work for yourself, right? What we get the skeleton from what Jordan teaches, and then there is taking that skeleton and filling in all the rest of the skin and the muscles and the blood and all that other stuff that goes inside the body, right? Take that, and that's how you succeed with this. I've also done a lot of investing as well into the business on top and on top of this. So I feel like the key to success is taking what you learn here, adapting it for yourself, and if you have questions along the way, ask those questions, but don't get expected to be spoon-fed everything. So.
Right. All right, then we're going to ask everybody the same question. So Haniel, you'll be up next. What has been the key to your success in this course?
I think the implementation of Jordan's course to the T to get started has been it's been life-changing, because everybody who's actually going to be listening to this, you're struggling somewhere down the road because you're not making enough money and you're not getting the right clients. So technically, this is a life-changing experience for you when you start this course. And I'm sure all of you are excited to get started and go through the modules. But the truth of the fact is you need to go through it completely before you start making steps don't run ahead of yourself or the course. Because when you do that, you are missing some key vital things that Jordan talks about in the course, about self-care, about creating a routine, and just a million other things, And I think it's very important to actually implement those. And I think for me, those things that Jordan actually put together and I implemented them to the T, that has been the most successful place for me rather than running ahead, if that answers the question.
Right. Awesome. Thank you. So then, Christora, what has been the key to your success in the course?
I agree 100% with what Tom and Haniel have already said. I also think that what you really need to do is you need to take the time to figure out who you are as a photographer, and whether that happens in the beginning of the course or that happens throughout the course. It doesn't matter if that very first time that you sit down and you say, my ideal client, I have no idea. Because the point of the course is that it really asks you to self-reflect over and over and over again. It's not, hey, let me do one ad and I'm going to have success. No, you have to be willing to look at the data. You have to be willing to see what one month did compared to the second month, and not just be lackadaisical about it. The other aspect is I got tripped up at the beginning. I'm not great with technology. I'm not great with connecting certain aspects together. And so I wanted it to work so badly, but I had to slow down. So I think that we want the success and we want it to, we want that quote unquote success, but I took those little steps and doing it myself and figuring it out myself. And now I can go back in and I can change what I need to change because I took the time to understand it the first time through.
Yeah. Right. Awesome.
If you don't mind, I'll jump on that real quick.
Go ahead, Tom.
I definitely think that's huge, Christora, that you point that out, because that was something that I definitely struggled with, was the wanting to get this done so quickly. I was at a point where I had to make a decision of building a business or sticking with my life that it was at the point with, building a relationship. And you know, I wasn't too happy in relationships, so I chose the business because I knew that this was something that was going to make me happy at the time. And I was so eager to get going with this and building it, but then I had to take a step back and say, okay, you know, there's a bunch of steps that I have to go through and obstacles I have to overcome right now before I can get to these landing pages and building this ad. And even the first time around, it's not going to be complete success. Like you said, it's going to be, okay, these sections worked for me, but what didn't work for me? And I think that's a message that's missed a lot with this course is Jordan gives you the tools you need to use. You have to understand how to use those tools and to improve on those tools and trial and error and all of that stuff that goes along with the success that we've had. You know, some of us have had a major success with this course, but it's because of the steps we took to get there, not skipping over first 4 steps to get to step 5 when, you know, steps 1 through 4 are what Haniel talked about organization and reorganizing your life and your schedule and all that stuff that goes in. There's a reason why Jordan gives it to us. And look, for us, we took it and worked, you know?
Well, and the other thing with success too is your success is not defined by where you end up. It needs to be defined by your day-to-day progress towards an end goal. So you're going to have days where you step forward. You're going to have days where you feel like you're stepping backwards, but that doesn't mean that you're not still pushing forward towards that end goal.
Right.
Again, quote unquote, each of us has success defined in a different way.
Right.
Yeah.
So figure out what your definition of success is and take those small steps, because seeing a large looming goal in front of you, it has to be broken down.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think the key to what Christora and Tom, you guys talked about, sorry, Aiden, didn't mean to cut you off.
You're good.
I think the key is discipline.
Mm-hmm.
I think the key for everyone who wants to be successful is discipline. I mean, I'll just give you a simple example. Where do you think Tiger Woods was the next morning, you know, when he won the actual title? He was there out at 6 o'clock in the morning swinging clubs, you know. Where do you think Muhammad Ali was the next morning after he won the heavyweight championship? He was still in that ring, you know. So the key is discipline. And unless we discipline ourselves, unless we discipline our lives, our business, you will remain in chaos for the rest of your life, and your business will remain in chaos for the rest of your life. So I think everything being implemented in discipline in terms of this course and everything that we're talking about, when you apply discipline to all of these and you know start to work your way up in discipline, and discipline is very hard. You go teach a 2-year-old discipline, guess what? He's going to spit the heck out of you, you know. But the truth is, this is who we are internally, configured wrong sometimes, and we just need to reconfigure ourselves correctly and order ourselves, bring order to our lives, order to our business, order to the way we communicate and do things, you know. And when we bring that discipline and order within ourselves, and when you implement this course, above all, you'll start seeing success come through based on discipline of your life. So.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. For me, the key for my success in the course so far has been, I mean, I'm kind of newer. I just started in February, so I'm the new kid off the block. You guys have been in here a little bit longer than me, a lot longer than me, Tom. But, you know, I've been able to come in here, and I was actually going to say exactly what Haniel said, is the discipline. Because if you don't have the drive and the discipline to make the changes that you need to, it's not going to work. I hopped on this course coming from not knowing what I was going to do. I was kind of like almost a midlife crisis at 22 years old, because I had lost my job.
You're not
even. I didn't know what I didn't know what I was gonna do.
Life.
You know, and so I knew I had my
teen life crisis.
Yeah, teen life crisis.
Probably like a quarter life crisis.
So, you know, I had my photography, and I knew that's what I wanted to do. And so, you know, I sat down and I told myself, and I changed my mindset on it. And even coming into the course, I've had my mindset being changed up until this day doing this. You know, for me, it's been hard work. I mean, from 5 a.m. to 12 a.m. sometimes, daily, just putting in as much and learning as much as I can, because I didn't have the resources. I don't have that much experience. And so going through the course, because I did every bit of homework. That's a big thing too, for like the key is doing all the homework in the course, going through the course, and then if I couldn't figure something else out, searching for it before I go to somebody. Because if you just get into the habit of, it's like what's the problem with my generation is, you know, getting everything given to us. We expect to be handed everything on a silver platter without working to it. And so one of the biggest things is like having good work ethic, which is discipline, like Haniel said, just to be able to drive yourself to do what you need to do to make changes, and also not being prideful. You know, us kids, I don't know how many other younger people are in this course, but us kids have a tendency to be extremely prideful, like we know everything, and you have to be humble to grow. Humility is one of the number one things to be able to take in knowledge from other people, take in different things, absorb it, and be able to apply it in your life. So for me, it's been, you know, being humble, knowing that I'm coming into an area that has people on a much higher level than me, and just observing what they're doing, asking questions without, you know, being too much of getting everything given to me on a silver plate, because Haniel is, you know, amazing, and he likes to do that for the people who are hungry for it. But that's a big thing, is like you have to go through everything, and you have to search for it and keep applying it.
Don't throw me
Is
under
it? Yeah. No, but that's the thing, is like, that's why I bring it up, is because from the 3 people in this call, I have received so much because I've asked questions and I've reached out to you about stuff that not per se I didn't know, because I knew a whole bunch of stuff was in the course already and in the Facebook group. So I was searching for it on there. If I couldn't find it there, that's when I reached out to you guys. That's when I reached out to something that, you know, was kind of difficult to find. So, but that's also the other part of it, is challenging yourself to that point of don't think it's ever going to be easy. Because I sit here and I think, I'm like, okay, I have so many ideas of what I need to do. And then I write it down on a list, and then I say, what can I do by myself? And I accomplish all of that. And then the stuff that I don't know, I have to go out and get help like you would any other place. You got to invest into the business to get back from it. So that's kind of part of the compartments for me that have attributed to my success.
You know, it's you bring that point up that I think we've talked about before too, and I've said it to a couple of other people, is this is not a magic pill. You know, there's not just like you're going to click a button, it's all going to magically just happen, right? You know, we're successful for reasons. Okay, I shouldn't say, yes, we are all successful, but there is also success in this course for reasons more than not, right? So it's the reasons of understanding that this is not the magic pill. This is a help to the magic pill. Whatever the magic pill may be, there is no magic pill if you think about it, right? Because everyone adapts it differently. And I think I just want to like kind of say that here, because, you know, it's not, this course is designed to improve your business, not fix your business. I think that's another big obstacle that people are trying to understand, is that it's a magic pill to help your business, not a magic pill to fix your business.
Tom, the word adapt means to make something suitable for a new use. Right. So that's literally what it is. You have to, that's what we're taking here with the course. And I think that's what people are mistaking it for, is that it's a magic pill. But no, it's something that you're going to change to make suitable for your business. You have to morph it into each other, because if you don't, then it's just going to be, you know, I like using the, because Jordan used this illustration with me. He's like, if you go out with freaking one of these and you're trying to fill this up with water, you know, all your leads and stuff, and you're just going out in the rain like this, look how tiny this hole is. That's nothing. And then if you get a funnel to put on top of it, you know, that's how you adapt it. You put the two together. But if you're just taking your funnel and going out in the rain, it's all going to go,
right.
You're not going to have anything to catch it.
Right.
If you just do the course and just use the course by itself without anything else, without taking your previous business in and your experience and stuff like that. And some people don't have that, and that's fine, because the course helps you get at least a standing point with it, a starting point with it. And then further on, once you do your research, once you do your homework and everything like that, if you still don't understand something, then that's what the rest of us here in the community are for. But for the most part, there is no reason why you should ever go out with that funnel and just be losing and wasting all of that time out there wondering why it's not working, because there's stuff that's already available to anybody here to capture it all. So
Right.
that's kind of the big point on that.
FYI, if you're watching this, pay close attention to the sound of my voice. I'm about to give you some truth. The truth is, there is a search in this group bar on Facebook.
Mhm.
If you don't know how to use it, you shouldn't be in this group. Learn to use it. And every time you have a question, hit that search. Just like you would do Google search, you actually search the group for your questions. And if you have a certain type of question and you don't think you can find an answer, use a keyword. For example, landing page. How do I fix my landing page? If you type that in, sorry, pardon my French, but shit, you won't find nothing on it. But if you type landing page as a keyword, I promise you 10 million things will show up there about landing page, and you will appreciate the importance of search in your life.
Yep.
Amen.
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 All
I'm
right.
glad you brought that up, Daniel, because that introduces us into our next question, which you're supposed to answer first. What options did you have to further improve your business? Or no, that's the wrong question. What other tools do you have to implement, or changes did you make to improve your business?
Personally, for me, I'll just speak for myself. So for me, I recognized that when I'd created what I'd created as far as social media and as far as website and just about my brand, I think there was a big disconnect to what I wanted to achieve and attract than what I was getting.
Mhm.
And I think that was a big disconnect for me. So I had to go back to the drawing board before I started running more ads. I went back to the drawing board and I rebranded. I redid my color scheme for I made sure that I'm more consistent in my color. I made sure that my website was a true representation of who I am and what I'm trying to achieve. And then I started using tools like CRM tools. Like if you don't know what CRM is, use the search button. But CRM is for client relationship management tool. So I implemented Honeybook for myself personally, and I found out that life became so much easier. Again, it all went back to discipline and creating an order for yourself. So I went back and I started using Honeybook, and I started putting my projects in from the clients in there. So now my communication was not all over the place and 10 million types of emails that I can't keep tabs on. So everything was under that project. Everything that I wanted to discuss with my bride and groom, it was all in there. My contracts were not medieval age. I'll send you a PDF. Why don't you fill it up and send it over to me? And once you do that, in about 10 years from now, we can work together. So
Right.
it didn't make sense to me. So my contracts were already in Honeybook, and that became very, very intuitive and easy for my clients to connect with me instantly. And the payment aspect of it that Honeybook provided me was also easier. Now I could create like multiple payment schedules for the rest of the 50%. That is the last part of the 50%. The first is retainer, and the next is 50% that people pay afterwards. So I split that in multiple payments for the brides who actually needed it desperately, not for
Yeah.
everybody. So I created that option for them. So now I'm able to successfully process things using these tools. I started using a couple of other tools, that just basically made my life so much more easier. I started to use Instagram in a more healthy way, rather than just posting crap and saying, oh, look, that's a great picture. Nobody gives a rat about your picture, honestly. It's all about a strategy on how you build a brand. So I started doing a healthy way of building brands, and just these were like the most implemented tool in the very beginning that actually changed the face of my business to where I am right now.
Right. Awesome. Awesome. That's a lot of great content. So Christora will ask you the same questions. What other tools did you have to implement, or changes did you make to improve your business?
Well, I like what Tom said at the beginning about a skeleton, because really, if anybody watches Westworld out there,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it makes total sense to me to think of the course as being a skeleton, and then, you know, the Facebook group that I've cultivated as being the tendons that go into it, and then rebranding my website as being the muscles, and then my brand as a whole as kind of being that skin that holds everything together. So I took what I learned from the course, and then I sought out those different things that I was looking for. So for example, blogging. I had never blogged before in my life, so I had to relearn how to blog. Well, what's really the goal in blogging? The goal in blogging is when somebody looks for a venue, for them to find photos from you, right? Because then they associate that venue with you. But I also figured out, hey, if I can cultivate a relationship with the people at the venue, they are also going to create this back and forth, because I'll give them the photos, they'll give me the business of the people coming in. So then I went a step further, and I decided that I was just going to contact every vendor that I enjoyed working with over the last 5 years. And I mean, I'm going to be in a virtual, over the Midwest, they're doing a virtual wedding show this next week. 2 photographers were asked to be part of it. I'm one of them. Yeah, I know, right? But it's because I reached out to one of the planners. Like, I guarantee it's because I made first contact with one of those planners. I think the biggest thing is that you can't be afraid to try something and fail, because there are plenty of things that I have tried to utilize that I've heard from other people, and I try it, it doesn't work for me. But I'm not afraid to take a step forward in order to take 2 steps back and reevaluate what's actually going to make sense for me and what's going to make sense for my business. But you have to realize that it's not just the skeleton of Jordan's program. Think about it. Your backbone is your skeleton, right? But if you don't have any core strength, you're not going anywhere.
True.
So you can just use that kind of metaphor with it. For me, Haniel was a lifesaver. For some people, they know how to build a website. They know how to use SEO. I will reiterate that I'm 37 years old. I'm not great with technology. I'm just not. Like, something will go wrong, and I immediately call my husband, like that little, please come help me, please come help me. You know, so I really knew that I needed to outsource my website to somebody else.
Right.
But I'm very good with being able to communicate in short snippets to people. So I feel like I'm an expert when it comes to actually posting things to Facebook. I feel like I'm an expert when it comes to communicating to other people. It's okay to reach out for help, to like look for other portions from other people when that's not your strong suit. But you have to realize that it's not always going to be what's right for your business either. Just because it was right for me doesn't mean it's going to be right for you.
Yeah, I love that. It's kind of like when every human being learns to walk, everybody falls. You know, when you're trying to learn to walk, you fall over and over until you finally get it. So I agree with that a lot. For me, the other tools that I had to implement or changes I made to improve my business. So this is kind of a funny one for me because I had nothing starting out. I literally had nothing. I had some friends' weddings that I had shot and a bunch of free photo shoots that I had done before. And I kind of just have been trying to take any skill that I have that I've learned over my past 23 years of life and just be able to use it to the utmost. I mean, generally being an artistic person, I dwelled into some types of stuff. I mean, my website isn't anything special. I've reached out because that's not my strong suit either to Haniel. He helped me out a little bit, and soon I'm going to be, going to him full time for my website because I know that's just the best course for my business. And that's going to be a big investment. And that's another thing too, is like to invest into the tools that you need, because I didn't have any tools. I had literally nothing. This first year is the first year I've had probably a camera that's older than 2010, you know, and all types of stuff. My CRM, Honeybooked, I saw that in the course through the Facebook group when I joined. You know, using Google Sheets to organize myself, all different types of stuff, but it's stuff I had to search out, and it's stuff that I saw people doing that I kind of took and made it my own. Like you said, Christora, just seeing how it works out, because some people's workflows are different. People's minds work differently on how they organize data and process everything. So yeah, I mean, for me, the tools that have helped is obviously a lot of the content from the course. Obviously it's the backbone, and using that, as well as I did every bit of homework in Jordan's course. He has PDFs for the new people coming in, for people who have been here a while and you haven't looked back on the course. I can't tell you how much. If you're struggling, go rewatch the entire course and go do all the homework, because there's parts in that homework where I was like, I don't want to do this. It looks boring. Sorry, Jordan, I love you, but it looked boring. But I see now, after, you know, sucking it up and just doing it, how important it is, because I've learned so much about myself, who I am as a photographer, what I'm trying to get in my business, that the types of things I need to be doing from it. And it's there for a reason, guys. So those are the biggest tools that I've kind of come across, is all the stuff that's already been put out there for me, but as well as my own curiosity. That's my answer for that one. So, all right, Tom, your turn.
So I want to kind of piggyback off of what Christora said, because I kind of have, you know, the same thing, right? When I joined this course, I needed that extra little oomph, and I needed some guidance. That's kind of what I joined it for. I needed guidance on. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew how I wanted to do it, but I didn't know how to achieve it. And by taking what Jordan teaches and implementing it into my business realm, and like the way I run my business, completely changed my business in a good way, right? Yeah. So that's the thing that I think a lot of people aren't understanding, is that you don't have to completely change the business to this structure, but like we said before, adapting to this structure is what I did, right? So, you know, my weak points were, you know, marketing, right? How to get my work in front of other brides in the state of New Jersey. You know, living in New Jersey, on the Northeast, you know, there's a bunch of us in this course who are in this general vicinity. I would say, you know, anywhere from Maryland up to, you know, Massachusetts. That meaty area of the country is very, very, very heavily populated with photographers, all different types of photographers. Right. And specifically in the wedding industry, you know, I had to figure out a way to get myself in front of the eyes of these brides. And that was one thing that I learned in the free seminar that Jordan gave. That was one of the things I would learn. And I said, okay, this course might be good for me. And I put it this way. I said, I invest money into the course, and if for some reason this doesn't work for me, okay, you know what? It's a lesson learned that this way doesn't work for me, and so be it. I think that's what a lot of people are trying to sometimes do, is they're trying so hard to make it work for themselves. You know, people say all the time, I want to be like Tom. You don't want to be like me, because I'm not you, you're not me, and what works for me and my business won't always work for you and your business. You know, the way that Haniel does things, the way Christora does things, the way that Aiden does things doesn't work for me. It just doesn't, and that's perfectly okay.
Nobody needs to be Tom. Nobody needs to be Christora. They need to be the best version of themselves.
Right. Exactly. 100%. And I think that's a huge message that's missed in this, is that you have to, in our industry, you have to be best for you. Right. So things that I've taken from this course, and I've just implemented: reorganization. I was, like Haniel said, I was also all over the place too. I didn't have structure. I didn't have any sort of way of, on a day by day situation, where I get up in the morning, make my coffee, I get on the computer, okay, I accomplish XYZ before 11 a.m. And then I accomplish lunch break, and then I accomplish ABC before 4 p.m. Okay, and then I take a dinner break, and I come back on at 7 o'clock, and I accomplish, you know, MNO. Yeah. And now my day's over. It's the conditioning, and it's the routine that I need. That's what I needed. And then discipline, yep. Right? That's what I needed. And it wasn't like a slapstick type of discipline. It was just a conditioning of a daily, everyday thing that I need to just get myself into some sort of routine, right?
Yeah.
And this routine taught me how to utilize all these tools that we learn in this course. And so people are so quick to jump the gun and jump into the oh my God, I want to start making money off of this course. You will. The money will come. The business aspect will come. But you have to take the precautionary steps, which is for some of us the reconditioning or the rebranding, which I also did. Rebranding was a huge thing. I mean, Haniel was a lifesaver. We rebranded everything for me, and it worked, right? And so that's another thing is, you know, the rebranding and the conditioning. Those are the two biggest things that I got from this. And I thank every day that I met people like you guys and this people in this course, because I've been able to succeed so much that I never thought I would, because of the resources that I had and the homework that I did and the research that I did and the time and effort that I put into this. And even the coaching sometimes too, that we do these Zoom calls every day. I learned stuff about how can I improve my business by listening to some of the way that people do their stuff. And it clicks. I'm like, oh, this is a great idea. Let me try it. And it works. And sometimes it doesn't, you know?
And it's like what we were talking about earlier this week. Haniel put it perfectly. I said to be able to get a diamond, it has to be refined very, very, like, you know how hard it is to get a diamond. That's why they're so valuable. It's the same thing with our businesses, that we have to keep refining our businesses up until the point when it can be a gem. But unless you're doing those changes and stuff like that, it won't happen. And then Haniel added on perfectly, it's not just the refining, but it's also the pressure. There has to be a mix of the both of them, or else it won't happen. You need to do refining under extreme amounts of pressure, not just a little bit, extreme amounts of pressure to produce those kinds of results. So, you know, for people coming out, I'm going to jump into the last question here, because that's going to be part of my answer for it, is what is your tip for new people joining the course? And even for people who are, you know, coming back into the course that have been out for a while because of personal reasons or whatever. I've been seeing that a lot. Guys, you got to put yourself in some form of pressure to be able to refine your business. Throw yourself out there. For me, coming into this, two weeks after I joined this course, and I did what most people are doing right now, jumping the gun. I totally did that. I jumped the gun. I didn't have everything set up completely the way it should have been. And I'm seeing that now more than ever as I'm refining a whole bunch of more stuff. But I quit my day job and I did this full time when I saw the amount of leads I had come in first. And for me, you know, that's a huge step, because not everybody has that luxury of being able to do it. And I understand that. But find where you can push your comfort zone, because if you aren't pushing your comfort zone for what you do, whether it be out, I drive 2.5 to 3 hours all over Florida. I go all over the state because I'm young and I can do it. And that's how I know I'm going to grow my business, because I'm so hungry for it that I'm going out. I have 16 possible engagement sessions booked for this month and a half coming up, that I'm going to be driving up to, 2.5 hours north, and then the other side of the state the next day. I'm going to be doing that because I know I need to. And that's my pressure on how I'm going to refine my business as well. So,
for the right ride, I drove 3 hours one way, so I spent 6 hours on driving just one day just to get to the right bride. And when the engagement session was barely about 45 minutes long, honestly, because I captured everything that and more for the bride in 45 minutes, but I spent another hour just getting to know them and talking to them and involving them in my personal life and being vulnerable with them and being honest with them. And see what that happened is that 6 hours of drive was worth it, because when I came back in the next 1 hour, I delivered the image. So it was an 8-hour job for me, like straight 9 to 5 kind of job for me, just to go do one engagement session, come back, deliver the image. And that same day when the image was delivered, she called me and she said, "Is this a teaser or is this a full set gallery that you sent?" I said, "Open it up and take a look." And she was in tears and she said, "I want to book you right now. I don't care what anyone says, I'm booking you." And she actually booked me the same day. So it's worth it,
It is. It truthfully is.
But you have to figure out for yourself what's worth it, because of those 4 people who are here, all 4 of us are willing to make sacrifices in that particular way. And so if you're not willing to make those kind of sacrifices, or you say, you know, I want every single bride to come to me,
Right.
you're going to lose opportunities. You're going to lose on probably some of the best clients that you could.
You shouldn't be in business if you think like that.
Right.
Yeah.
That if they're going to just waltz up into your door, you shouldn't even be in business. It's blunt to say, but it needs to be said, because there is no person in this world, whether it be wedding photography, whether it be Bill freaking Gates, who made Microsoft, who did not pour their heart, blood, sweat, and tears into their business to get the success that they're gaining.
Yeah, I'm about to drop some truth bomb. Actually, this is going to be a day late when you hear this, but I would have dropped the truth bomb yesterday on the Facebook group. So if you're going to listen, if you're listening to this, the truth bomb is already dropped. Go read it.
Go find it.
But the truth bomb is going to be crazy. It's going to change the way you and I think about our business and where we are individually with our business, and how we can make a substantial amount of change to better ourselves, better our business, and better our brand. I'm talking about 3 levels of businesses and who we are in those 3 levels and categories. And I think we are able to identify, or at least I'm able to identify over the last 8 to 10 years being in this industry, these 3 different levels. And I can speak for myself that saying that I can identify most people, 99.9% of the population in the industry falls in these 3 categories at a different level. So when you get a chance, use the search this group. One more time.
Search bar.
If I don't see you search and post something, I swear I will cuss you out.
And there's Haniel's tip. Tom,
I'm too nice to do that.
No.
I'm too nice to do that.
But, you know, there's a lot of things that I can go on for hours about this, and I'm just not going to, because you know why? It's one of those things where if you want it, you'll do it. And right. I think the biggest tip I could give for someone joining this course, and this is something that I had to learn along the way, is make sure all of your ducks are in a row before you start those modules. I'm going to tell you why. Because those modules aren't going to teach you how to take a photo. They're not going to teach you how to edit. They're not going to teach you how to design a website. They're not going to teach you how to close a client over and over and over and over and over again for yourself. What it's going to teach you is how to take the tools with those things in place and close a sale or get a bride. So I think a lot of people in this course don't all have their ducks in a row just yet. And I think that they're jumping to the end, and they're wondering why it's not 100% working for them. It's because they're not seeking advice if they're not happy with their website, or they're not happy with their images. You know, I came into this course not having a lot of images, and I had a website. But you know what? I tried it, and then I met Haniel. We changed everything. Everything changed, and it worked, right? But I wish that I would have done that. I wish that I would have had all my ducks in a row before I started doing the course. The first few modules, you're going to learn about, you know, the back ends of, you know, yourself and conditioning and rebranding and all of that. You're going to learn all about that stuff, conditioning and time management and spreadsheets and all of that stuff you're going to learn. And then it's going to come to the time where you're going to have to start implementing your own website and your own work into these Facebook ads, into these landing pages. And that's the point when you, excuse my language, may have the oh shit moment of saying, you know what, I need to take a break. And it's okay if you join the course it's May 2020. You join the course now and you start the first few modules. It's okay to take 6 months to really rebrand yourself to continue on with this course. There's a student in this group who's a perfect example of that. She joined the course last year. She's just now starting her ads because her first ad. And the reason why is because she took that time to go along and really focus on her brand and what type of photography she wanted to you know, in the wedding industry, what type of wedding photography she wanted to showcase, and also what type of clients she wanted.
Yeah.
And now she's done that. She's doing absolutely wonderful. So that's the biggest tip I can say, is really focus on yourself and your brand before jumping into this, because if you don't, they won't mesh together and you won't see the results that some of us are seeing.
I concur with Tom, and I'm also going to say this, and I'll say it in all love, in every aspect and form of love to you. If you're
Love is
listening to
tough.
this, uh, if you're a shitty photographer, I'm sorry. Fix that. Fix your skill sets. You know, you can run ads all day long, and brides are not going to fill your landing page because your pictures look like shit. Create composition, create art for yourself. And it's not art that you love. I'm sure, you know, you love your image because you took it. But at the end of the day, if it's not selling, that means somebody's not liking it. Your brides are not liking it. So you need to conform to industry standard, have some skill sets, and master yourself with your camera, you know. And if you don't know your camera, if you don't know the settings in your camera, you'll go out there, shoot a wedding, and suddenly something's not working with the flash system, and you don't know what the heck you're doing. You look like an idiot. Not only will you look like an idiot, you create that idiot for an industry. So don't make fool out of yourself, but create skill sets. Now, these skill sets that you create for yourself are lifelong because they're knowledge transfer. So when you have a good knowledge transfer within yourself, and when you take time to learn your skill, when you take time to learn your camera, your flash equipment, when you take time to learn these little things that actually helps you create, you know, and I am part of the industry for a very long time. I know some of the top names who are very close friend of mine. I've known them for 10, 15 years now as top photographers in the world. I've known them. And the only advice that they give, and I think it's the best advice, is don't waste your time in so much technology and lenses and cameras and all that crap. Listen, you know, some of the best images in the world were taken by a SLR with a 35 millimeter lens. Why? Because they knew what they were doing and what they were presenting. There was an art to it. So if you don't have the art or the creative attitude or sense, I would encourage you to go back and start there. You know, start there. You're new to the group. We are here to help you, each one of us. And I'm not saying my art is great looking. I mean, it looks shit. Trust me. My website looks terrible. My pictures look terrible. But apparently, my brides love it, and that's all I care about. You know, so
I attest to
that's
that 100% about what
that's
you're
the
saying,
key.
Haniel.
That's the key. You know, just focus on developing your personal sense. Self-care is very important.
Can I
Learn your
piggyback off
skill
of
set.
that? So my biggest suggestion for anybody getting into this course is to truly invest in yourself, and don't look at this as I'm only going to invest in this program.
Right.
You need to be investing in yourself by reading. You need to be investing in yourself by getting uncomfortable. I think that comfort is the killer of innovation. So the second that you are comfortable, ask yourself, why am I comfortable? Or the minute that you get into something uncomfortable, stop yourself, recognize that you're probably at the precipice of growing. And that is going to be a huge tool for you, not just during this program, but in life in general, because the only way that we grow is through uncomfort, through discomfort.
Yep. Haniel had to tell me, you know, he's told me my photos are crap and I had to go fix it. And so that was a big thing for me. You know, I had to learn, and then I did what I had to do. So
Yeah.
I'm still crap, but I'm still learning. You know, Tom helps me out. Christora helps me out. A whole bunch of people in the group help out. And I just feel like, guys, the group is such a priceless tool that we have available to us, but don't take it for granted. Don't abuse it. Don't take it for granted. You know, we do these because we want to help out, but it's not just about, you know, us. We're not trying to elevate ourselves. We just want people to succeed because we're succeeding, and we want to share it and just make a comfortable community and, you know, better world for photographers. And you know, it's just like,
but with that being said, when you actually accomplish something on your own and then you bring it to someone and say it's not working, it's going to give you a sense of pride for your business. It's going to give you a sense of understanding where you're coming from. rather than just going to someone. Like, there's that old proverb, teach a man to, or give a man a fish he eats for a day, teach a man to fish he eats for a lifetime.
Right.
Yep.
That is exactly what this group is.
Yeah.
We will help you and hold your hand, but you need to do the groundwork.
Absolutely. 100%.
Yep.
100%.
Because otherwise you're not going to value, you're by asking someone else to do the work for you, you aren't valuing yourself. You're disvaluing yourself. You're disvaluing your business, and you're disvaluing your growth.
Right.
Yeah. I want to take what Christora said there about we're going to hold your hand. You know, holding somebody's hand takes two parts. If you're reaching out to hold somebody's hand, they have to hold back. If you guys aren't holding back, there's nothing you can do. The hand's there, but you got to grab it for it to work. So,
and it also has to do with the fact that, you know, don't abuse the Facebook group. That's huge. And, you know, we are here to help. And if you have something, like I do this with Aiden, I do this with Daniel all the time. I'll say, hey, look at this awesome thing I'm trying. How does this look? If you think something's working for your business, you want a second professional opinion, it's okay to reach out and say, hey, you know, I thought of this great idea. What do you think about it? Or, hey, can we try this out? I want you to test something for me. I want to see how this works. It's okay to share success, and if it's gonna, especially if it's going to help and it's going to be value to other students in the group. And that's something that we four have done, where we've taken what we've learned and we've shared it with the group because we know it works in some way or fashion, right? And I want everyone to understand that we are here to help, and we are here to help you within reason, right? We want you to do we want to be the last resource for you. Do all the homework, search Google, search the Facebook group, go back to the course. And if you still can't find the answer, or you're confused about part of that answer, then come to us, or come to anybody in the Facebook group and say, hey, this is a question I have. But if it's a landing page question, or if it's an ad copy question, do your homework. Go find it, because I'm telling you, we've covered it 1,000 times before. It's out there. You just have to find it.
Yep.
You know?
All right, guys. So appreciate everybody's time coming in here. I hope the students find this valuable. And, you know, just thank you to you guys for giving your input and your time as well. And thanks, Jordan, for letting us do this. And hopefully this is going to help people out who are coming in, so that you kind of have I don't want to say you know your place in the group, but there's a place for everything, and there's a time to do stuff. So this will kind of help everybody keep, you know, in that level of where everyone's supposed to be. So yeah, if anybody has, you know, questions or anything about any of the stuff we talked about, I would say drop a comment below where this is going to be posted, and we'll be able to, you know, answer it there. Like, again, everything's in the Facebook group. You just have to search for it. So it'll just be another archive for the future for people to check out. So
we can't wait to share in your successes.
Yes, we are here. Please ring the bell every chance you can, because we are here to help you and succeed, and we want to see you grow. Hey, everybody, absolutely. I don't want to be the only one to be at 6 figures, so please.
Don't worry, you won't be.
Won't be.
With the two of you, I have no problems at all. I know that. Yeah, seriously, everybody, share your stuff. We want to see you succeed. So just keep bringing it to us. We love seeing it. You know?
Yeah, and I just wanted to say one last thing to wrap things up. Is thank you, Tom, Aiden, Christora, for, you know, being a part of this community and bringing your you know, your knowledge, your skill sets, and adding value. At the end of the day, you add value. And there are many others who are part of this group who are very quiet. They don't talk much, but they definitely bring value. And you know, we know Kyle, Steve, a couple of others, you know, Cortland. I mean, I can name a lot of people, Mark, just a lot of people who are part of the group who bring their own unique skill sets and value adds to the group. So I just want to let you guys know, keep encouraging others, keep encouraging people. And if you know somebody, when you have implemented this and you're growing, make sure you help other people grow in this group. So that way it's not just, oh, I'm sitting on this set of knowledge and I'm not going to share with other people, because that's a bad attitude, you know. So the more you give, the more you get. I think that's the good principle. Mm-hmm. So I think I would encourage that for you to do something, because you never know. Today's you might be in a situation that you have overcome that can be a very healthy encouragement to somebody else who's in a similar place where you were about 2 years ago. So, share personal stories, be open to people, be vulnerable to people. You never know how you can make somebody's day or encourage somebody in just being who you are. So thank you, Jordan. I just wanted to take a second to thank Jordan. Yeah, I paid a lot of money to you, buddy. You better listen to this video.
We all did.
So thank you, Jordan, for allowing us to be a part of this great community and just helping us build, develop relationships with one another. If it wasn't for your course, none of us would be here talking about this and allowing each other to be a part of our lives. So to me it's like a second family. So I'd love to meet with you guys in person, maybe do a workshop, just get to know you guys more, spend some time. Bourbon balls.
Yep, bourbon balls.
Party
Balls
time.
chocolate.
So chocolates. I mean, we're ready to do this together as a family. So if you are discouraged today, don't sit in discouragement.
Right.
Search button first, and if you don't find it, then you tag somebody, reach out to somebody, and you will find answers. I promise you will find answers. So on that note, at least for me, peace out.
Yep. All right. Thanks, everybody. We'll be catching you around soon, and have a great day.
See you later.